Bobby.
It's not too late to change your mind.
Forget it, Bobby.
Look, Andrea, you're not going to get away with this, okay? The kid's half mine, too.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm the one who's pregnant. I can do whatever I want with it.
I'm Judge Robert J. Franklin. I chose the law as my way of serving my fellow citizens. As an elected judge in the family court, I pray each day that God will give me the wisdom to always temper justice with mercy.
Well, I can't believe it. Michael Bradley actually showing up on time.
Hi, Lou.
Hey, Mike, why is it that whenever we tee off together, you're always late?
I don't make any money at golf.
Yeah, that's because you play against me.
Well, you should have brought your lucky putter then, because you're not going to win this round.
Oh, you really think that Judge Franklin's going to put that baby up for adoption when the natural father wants to keep it? Mary, Robert.
Well, the judge sure isn't going to give it to your little unmarried teenager.
You care to make a wager?
Gambling's illegal, counselor. How much? Huh?
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Robert Franklin presiding. Raise your right hands. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, Miss Page, let's begin.
Your Honor, Robert Dean seeks custody of his unborn child, while the baby's mother, Andrea Lennon, intends to give the child up for adoption. Both parties are minors and are accompanied by their mothers. Also present to testify is Janet Nesbitt of the Ross Adoption Agency.
I see. All right, thank you, Miss Page. Mr. Henderson, have you an opening statement for the court?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Robert Dean is a responsible 17-year-old man who, unlike Andrea Lennon, cares for and loves their unborn child. Now, Miss Lennon has subjected Robert to the worst kind of mental torture by virtually selling their child to adoptive parents before it is even born. Now, Robert has lined up a responsible job, and he wants to be a parent, Your Honor, more than anything. He has his mother at his side to assist him if necessary. Your Honor, if Robert tried to put this baby up for adoption, would anyone argue that Andrea couldn't keep it? Well, is the right to father a child any less dear to us than the right to bear and to mother one? Unless we allow Robert the chance to take care of his baby, we are denying him a fundamental right.
All right, thank you, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Bradley?
Thank you, Your Honor. Bobby Dean is a young boy whose main interest in life is, if you'll excuse the expression, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And like most boys his age, he has a history of shirking responsibilities. He's experimented with drugs, and now he wants to experiment with a baby, a human life. Well, we'll demonstrate that Bobby Dean can't even take responsibility for himself, much less a helpless baby. Andrea Lennon, on the other hand, is a mature young woman who has carefully hand-picked a loving couple that will take the baby. For the sake of the child and all concerned, the baby must go to the adoptive parents who can provide a secure and loving environment that the baby should have.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bradley. Mr. Anderson, call your first witness, please.
I call Robert Dean to the stand.
Very well. Robert, as you prepare to testify, let me remind you that you were sworn in. And as you testify, you'll be testifying under oath. You understand that? Go ahead, Counselor.
Robert, just so the court understands, have you ever at any time refused to accept responsibility for this child?
No, never. Our baby was conceived in love. Or at least I was in love. You see, Andrea and I were going out for about a year when it happened. Her mom and dad went away to Chicago one weekend, and Andrea invited me over. We weren't planning on doing anything, but it's hard to stop when you're in love.
How did you respond when you found out that Andrea was pregnant?
Well, to be honest, I was a little shocked at first. I hadn't expected to be a father this early. I thought I'd finish high school, maybe 2 years of college, and then Andrea and I would get married. But as soon as I found out she was pregnant, I said that we should get married.
And did she go along with that plan?
No, I even bought her a ring. She just laughed and told me that I wasted my money if I thought that she was going to throw away her life for me like that. She wanted an abortion, but I took her to our priest and he talked her out of it, thank God.
Robert, if you are awarded custody, will you be able to provide for this baby?
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty of room at my mom and dad's house, and I've already lined up a job with my uncle at his welding shop. I'll work nights as an apprentice until I finish school, and then I'll work full-time. Baby stuff's expensive, I know that, but at least with Mom there, I won't have to worry about daycare.
Well, Robert, is that what you want to become, a welder?
Well, I've always dreamed about being a doctor, but some things in life just don't work out the way you want them to. I don't even know if I get into a good medical school or not.
What about college, Robert?
College will just have to wait. Maybe by the time the baby... Well, I guess I'll be a kid then. Maybe by the time the kid's in school, I'll have saved enough money to go back part-time. My uncle does real well.
I see. All right, Counselor, go ahead.
Robert, Mr. Bradley suggested in his opening statement that you aren't capable or responsible enough to plan for your baby's future. Now, is he right?
Are you kidding? That's all I can think about now. I have the kid on a waiting list at the Crest Preschool. It's the best preschool in the whole state. You have to enroll the kid 3 years ahead of time. I have him on the list as Baby Dean.
All right, how do you feel about this proposed adoption?
Well, I guess it's pretty obvious that I'm against it. I just feel like I have to keep fighting for my kid. First, Andrea won't marry me, then she wants an abortion, and now she just wants to give the kid away. I don't know why she hates me so much. All I know is if she puts the baby up for adoption, I may never get to see him.
Thank you, Robert. No further questions, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Bradley, your witness.
Your Honor. Bobby, you've already been accepted at the university for their pre-med program, haven't you?
Yes, but school can wait.
Haven't you planned all your life to be a surgeon like your father?
Yes, but sometimes adults have to change their plans.
And have you considered how you really feel a couple of years down the road? Aren't you destined to resent your child forever?
No, I'll make any sacrifice I have to be with my kid.
Oh, really? Well, how about your girlfriends, Bobby? You've had at least 3 since Andrea got pregnant, haven't you?
No, nothing serious. Just girls I've taken out on dates.
And do you think you'll be able to sacrifice all the rest of your bad habits, like drinking?
I don't drink. Not like that.
What about last April? Weren't you drinking when you took the principal's car in a joyride for the Sadie Hawkins dance?
Oh, it was part of an April Fool's joke. Part of the joke was to make the principal think we had been drinking. Iced tea was in the bottle.
And can you explain why you missed a solid week's school about 2 months ago?
Yes, that's when I found out that Andrea had put the child up for adoption. I was confused and I was upset about it.
I see. So when you're upset and under pressure, you run away from things.
Things just got out of hand. Andrea wouldn't even speak to me. I went camping to get away for a little bit.
Oh, tell me, Bobby, when you're under a lot of pressure and things upset you, besides running away, do you also use drugs?
No, sir, I don't do drugs.
Bobby, I have here Defense Exhibit 1. It's a copy of your school newspaper. Can you tell us who wrote the editorial? The one advocating the legalization of marijuana?
Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Let me rephrase the question, Bobby. Have you ever personally used marijuana?
Yes, I've tried marijuana. So what?
Well, you've tried it. Like you've tried drinking, like you've tried sex, and now you've found a new way to get your kicks. You want to try playing daddy for a while.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Bradley isn't asking a question. He's testifying.
Sustained.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Very well. You may step down, Robert. Thank you very much. Call your next. You may proceed, Mr. Bradley.
Andrea, would you tell us why you decided to let your baby be adopted?
Because I think it's the best thing for my baby and for all of us. I'm only 16 years old, you know. I have a lot of things to do. I want to finish high school, maybe go to college. I'm not ready to be a mother. And Bobby's sure not ready to be a father either. It's crazy.
Did you give this decision much thought?
Yes. I talked to my family doctor, the school counselor, my parents. I even tried to talk to Bobby, but he did most of the talking.
How do you feel about your baby?
I love my baby. And I know it's really going to hurt a lot when I have to give it away. But how could it not after carrying it in my body for 9 months?
Does it bother you that your baby is going to be raised by strangers?
Yes, but they won't be strangers to the baby. They'll be Mom and Dad. The adoption agency let me pick them out myself. I don't know their names or where they live exactly, but I know it's another state. The man's a marriage counselor, And the woman, she runs a health food store or something, right out of their home.
Andrea, did you ever love Bobby Dean?
No, sir. I just thought I did.
Then you wouldn't consider marrying him.
No. That wouldn't be fair to anybody. When I get married, it's going to be to the right guy. And it's going to be for love. No matter what he says, Bobby never loved anyone but himself.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mr. Henderson.
Miss Lennon, you say you care for your baby. Is this the same baby that you considered aborting?
I was scared. Anyway, I didn't.
But according to these medical records, Plaintiff's Exhibit A, you went to the clinic with your mother, but you were too far along to get an abortion, so you really didn't have any choice in the matter, did you, Miss Lennon?
I wouldn't have done it anyway.
And didn't you tell Bobby, after you found out that you couldn't get the abortion, that you would see to it that he never got the baby because it would just be too embarrassing for you to have it in the same town?
Yes, but I was just mad when I said that. I'm giving my baby up because it's the best thing for all of us.
Or is it because it's the best thing for you? Miss Lennon, isn't it a fact that you are selling your baby to the highest bidder?
Objection. There's no such fact in evidence.
I am trying to put it in evidence, Your Honor.
Well, then do so. Objection overruled.
Are the adoptive parents paying you money, Andrea? Aren't they?
They're paying for my medical and hospital expenses.
Do you deny then that you are being paid an additional $5,000 above and beyond the medical expenses?
It's not what you think. They just want to make sure I eat special food and take vitamins and stay healthy.
And to make sure that the baby is theirs.
That's not
No
true.
further questions.
You may step down, Miss Lennon. Thank you very much. Are there any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor. Defense rests.
Well, the issues in this case seem pretty clear to me. I think that in that case we could do without the closing arguments if you'll waive them.
That's fine with me, Your Honor.
I'm agreeable, Your Honor.
All right. I'll take a moment then to consider it, and I'll bring you a decision.
All rise.
You may be seated. I've weighed all the elements in this case, and I have found no villain other than a society which allows and sometimes encourages young people to be sexually irresponsible. Robert, I think it's admirable that you want to raise your child. And Andrea, I know how hard it must have been for you to make your decision. I've read the report on the adoptive parents, and I'm satisfied that they are exceptional people. But in the end, what all this boils down to is what is best for this unborn child. This new little life deserves every opportunity for a bright future and a loving home. I'm convinced, Robert, that the love you feel for this child is genuine. But more importantly, I'm convinced by the testimony given here today that you've made a responsible commitment to care for that child, even where the responsibilities of parenting cause you to make enormous sacrifices in your own personal life. Now, having said that, I'm still concerned by the relative ease with which you think those responsibilities can be assumed. And furthermore, it distresses me a bit that your father doesn't accept this child as readily as your mother does, since their home is the intended place of residence. It's going to be harder than you think, Robert. But as the child's natural father, I feel you deserve a chance. And please give that child the very best you have to give. As far as the two families are concerned, try to be good to each other. That's all. Court's adjourned.
Okay, don't gloat.
No, I'm not.
Is it too late to call off the bet?
Hey, it's all right. I'll tell you what. Next time we play golf, I'll let you use my lucky putter.
Fred stumbles on a murder attempt, and now the would-be killer plans to do away with him, too. Sanford and Son, next.